Shalom, beloved. It's the fifth day of the week, and I did not have a good sleep last night, but I only wake up now. Um, just a few minutes ago, I made myself coffee, which I did not drink yet, and it's still like very early. It's about just only after 6. Um, and yeah, it was raining. It was torrential rain last night. My son and I had a problem with sleep. You know, I said I need to read, and there's a chapter 6, John, chapter 6 today. It's pretty quiet. It's quite actually long. It's more than 2 pages. So I decide to maybe I think about it. See how we go. I can finish today in the middle of it or in the spot, and then I continue in that part 2, or I can um yeah, I think that's what I do, and I speak out about the part 2, and then I go see how many parts, because there is a big chapter. Anyway, I'm reading right now. See how I go. I'm really quite tired, so forgive me for mistakes. Alright. Again, this is Yuhanan 6, John 6. After this, Yahusha went away to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, that is Lake Kinneret, and a large crowd was following him because they saw his signs which he did on those who were sick. And Yahusha went up on the mountain, and there he sat down with his taught ones. And the Pesach was near, the festival of the Yahudim. Then Yahusha, lifting up his eyes and seeing a large crowd coming toward him, said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for them to eat?" And this he said, trying him, for himself knew what he would do. Philip answered, 200 denarii worth of bread is not sufficient for them, for every one of them to receive a little. One of his taught ones, Andrew, and brother of Shimon Kepha, said to him, "Here is a boy who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes, but what are these for so many?" And Yahusha said, "Make the people sit down." Now there was much grass in the place, and the men, numbering about 5,000, sat down. And Yahusha took the loaves, and having given thanks, he distributed them to the taught ones, and the taught ones to those sitting down, and the same with the fish, so much as they wished. Okay. And when they were filled, he said to his taught ones, "Gather the broken pieces that are left over so that none gets wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with broken pieces of the 5 barley loaves which were left over by those who had eaten. Then the men, having seen the sign that Yahusha did, said, "This is surely the prophet who is coming to the world." Then Yahusha, knowing that they were about to come and seize him, that they might make him sovereign, withdrew again to the mountain alone by himself. And when evening came, his taught ones went down to the sea, and entering into the boat, they were going over the sea toward Capernaum. And it had already become dark, and Yahusha had not yet come to them, and the sea was rising because a great wind was blowing. When they had rowed about 25 or 30 stadia. They saw Yahushua walking on the sea and coming near the boat, and they were afraid. And he said to them, "It is I, do not be afraid." They wished therefore to take him into the boat, and at once the boat was at the land where they were going. On the next day, I think we stop it here. I believe we do it. This is so much information to that point. We stop on verse 21. Beloved, we have basically two events happening. The first one is the bread, the giving to the bread to people by Yahusha through his disciples, and the second is the boat event. I think we've been reading about the boat before. I'm breaking. That's when I open on Matziyahu as well. Here is much shorter, this one. The other one speaks and extends a little more about what's happened later. After Yahusha entered the boat. Alright, we start off the bread. You know that Yahusha says, "Man should not live only by the bread alone, but by every word of Yahuwah." And I see the meaning of this. This is the picture of what will come. Okay, this is the picture what I was talking about, and I see that this way, and this is honestly came to me right now. This is what I see, so don't put that like a granted. Seek your discernment. Seek if that's it's nothing. There is not a really big prophecy or anything like that, but seek the discernment. It has many layers here. This is what it means. It's like this Yahuwah's word is not like what has one meaning and has one like layer. It's so deep and filling. It has so much in it. It's just heavy. I feel it's heavy. It's when I, for example, read, I feel I'm going. My stomach is getting filled. Honestly, with something very essential. It's very heavy and weight. So the first, I believe, is actually, of course, we're seeing how compassionate is Yahusha here. There is many layers, so it's about showing how compassionate he is, that he's got a heart for people. Yahuwah has heart, and he's humble, and he's meek. His ruach is meek, so this is for people to know. And also I see the meaning of the bread of life. Here Yahusha, notice, he asks first, he says he thanks the Father for the bread, he gives thanks. Then what's happened? He's not walking to the people and giving them bread himself. He actually uses his disciples. Then they distribute the bread among the people. So can you see the relation to this time? Because it's about the word. It's about the living word, the Torah, the Ruach. Remember, in the last days, there will be hunger not for bread, but for the word of Yahuwah. And here, where will be the bread? That we, those disciples, the Nazarene, the branches, his beloved. That's why we need to seek him, not the other people's communities and fellowships. I ask you again, would you like to be the source of living water for others, for those who are in darkness? So then when they eat, they will never hunger again. And when they thirsty and they drink, they will never thirst again. If they drink it, the water of life. Would you like to do that? Would you like Yahuwah use you and he will work through you? That looks like it's the last days. And here is another one. It's actually another thing here as well. It's pointing that Yahusha is part of Yahuwah. He is one with Yahuwah, but he always say thanks to Yahuwah for everything. So the bread of life is going through the people Yahuwah will use to give the bread of life to others. And there will be still a lot of left. That the word of Yahuwah, which Yahuwah put it forth, is not going to come back to him void, but will be fulfilled. That's why nothing will be wasted. It's been treated with respect, with honor, because this is the bread of life. I know there is a fish as well. That could be representing water, because the fish is swimming in the waters. That could be the water part. So we're talking about the living waters and the bread of life. But the point is, it's not given by Yahusha himself to people, to the crowd, but he uses disciples. That's why he needs us for some important matter. Here we have the passage about the boat. It's another one. Before that happened, he's withdrawing to the mountain because he knew that maybe they would try to seize him. That's why he withdrew to pray, of course. But because he reckoned they will make him sovereign. Yes, he will become sovereign in the right time. From that point, from that moment, he is the sovereign over us. We have a king already. We have a king. There are two kingdoms. The spiritual kingdom, which is for those who love him. From the moment he was put as a sovereign, he was given crown of thorns and a purple clothing, purple garment, and they were saying sovereign of Yahudim, and they mock him. So basically we know that he is the king. He is our king. His kingdom is coming soon. Which is amazing. But anyway, we're talking about the boat, and the third ones entered the boat, but the wind was already blowing, very strong wind, and they saw Yahusha walking on the water, and they thought he is the phantom. The same. This is repeating this other another prophecy, another event from Matthew we have been reading, I believe. So they didn't know those things. They didn't know about those amazing things Yahusha did. Remember, he did those things too that they will believe, and those who meant to believe, they did. They did not receive the ruach of truth yet. So those things were very visual, but those things have bigger, deeper meaning and instruction in them for us. It's not always in flesh. It's not in physical. Those things are much deeper than that. Okay? So here, what it says, does it mean, beloved, you're alone, like physically, and you don't have Yahusha? Like I said, we don't have Yahusha in physical, but we have them in us. We should. I'm talking to those who do. Right now, I'm talking to those who do have Yahusha in them, or they claim they do. If you do, you should be you should not be afraid. You should not be in fear. You should not think about preparing in natural. You should fully trust Yahuwah. Okay? Because if you see that things going wrong, people, they crushing in fear, they just going down. They shaking. They terrified. I know this is our nature. That's why we need to develop the relationship with Yahuwah himself, not with people. The more you listen to voices from one side, another side, telling you how to prepare, what to do, or we help you, maybe we can live together in community. Those things won't stand. Those things are not going to stand, because the foundations are of this world. The preparation are in natural. You can't have both. You prepare or in spiritual or in natural. There are things we know we need to always have, like a food and drink, but this is normal. We're doing those things every day. And Yahuwah knows we need those things. So he will help you. But if you put all expectation in your own, or you put most of them in the preparation in natural, and by your own power, by your own strength, by your own abilities, then you can't expect Yahuwah will come and help you, because you lower his abilities. You make them small because you don't trust him enough to just rely on on his might, on his love, on his loving commitment, of his favor, on the blood of Yahusha, which he gave it for us, his blood, for the purpose. For some, it's not just because he felt like it. He volunteered to make you wonder why. Is that why he actually did that? Or has that deep purpose to save us, to protect us, to build the armor for us in the time to come? So take that to your heart and Stop to clown around and perform. Love ya. Yahuwah bless. Shalom, shalom to those who are near and to those who far away. Yahuwah bless you and I love you.